When humanity first arrived at the Galactic Council, every species assumed they were prey, soft skin, no claws, no venom, no armor. But Security Officer Thrix-Vol learns the terrifying truth about humans when Sarah Chen casually catches a 400-pound apex predator mid-lunge, like it's a playful kitten. What begins as a routine diplomatic assignment spirals into a gut-wrenching revelation. Humans don't just survive dangerous animals. They domesticate them. They laugh with them. They cuddle them. And when the station's biocontainment fails, releasing the galaxy's most feared creatures, Thrix watches in horror and awe as humanity's insane relationship with danger might be the only thing standing between survival and total annihilation. The first thing you need to understand about humans is that they're insane. Not the amusing kind of insane, like the Vrixian merchants who genuinely believe their overpriced trinkets have spiritual energy. Not even the dangerous kind of insane, like those Kelthar warlords who challenge black holes to duels. No. Humans possess a uniquely disturbing brand of madness that makes every other species in the galaxy question whether natural selection on Earth just gave up halfway through. My name is Thrix-Vol, and I've been a security officer on station Kepler 442 for 6 rotations. I've dealt with smugglers, bar fights, and one memorable incident involving a Zerganian who tried to bring live explosives through customs because they were just pets. I thought I'd seen everything. Then Sarah Chen walked into my life, and I realized I knew absolutely nothing. So this is the diplomatic quarters. She stood in the corridor, barely reaching my shoulder, with that unsettling human smile that shows far too many teeth. Her dark hair was pulled back, and she wore one of those ridiculous earth garments called a hoodie that served no tactical purpose whatsoever. Yes, Ambassador Chen, your species has been assigned Level 7, Section 12. The gravity has been adjusted to 0.98 Earth standard. The atmosphere is oxygen-nitrogen compatible, and we've ensured the temperature remains within your comfort parameters. That's awesome. Thanks, Thrix. She pronounced my name wrong, but I'd learned that human vocal cords struggle with the clicking consonants. Hey, quick question. When does my cargo arrive? I brought my cat, and he gets cranky without his toys. I consulted my datapad. Your cat. The manifest lists one contained biological specimen, mass approximately 4.5 kilograms, species Felis catus. It arrived 2 cycles ago, and is currently in quarantine for standard health screening. Oh good. Can I see him now? He's probably freaking out. I'm afraid not. Quarantine protocols require 48 Earth hours before. Aw, come on. Biscuit is totally harmless. Look, I have his vaccination records right here. She thrust a translucent device toward me, displaying various incomprehensible medical symbols. Ambassador, I understand your concern, but regulations exist for the safety of all station inhabitants. We cannot risk. A deafening alarm shrieked through the corridor. My communicator crackled to life with panicked voices overlapping each other. Breach in Sector 9. Repeat containment breach. The Raxian Bloodstalker has escaped. Every membrane in my body tightened with terror. Raxian Bloodstalkers were apex predators from a death world classified as Hazard Level 9. They could smell fear from 300 meters, moved faster than most species could perceive, and had never been successfully contained for more than a few planetary cycles. Their claws could slice through reinforced titanium. Their jaws could crush bone like dried clay. All personnel, evacuate levels 5 through 10 immediately. The station commander's voice boomed. Security teams, form perimeter around residential sectors. Do not engage the creature directly. Repeat, do not engage. Sarah Chen looked at me, with those disturbingly calm human eyes.
Bloodstalker.
Like, from Raxia Prime, with the purple stripes and the triple jaw? You're familiar with them? I grabbed her arm, already pulling her toward the nearest emergency shelter. We need to move now. These creatures are unstoppable killing machines. They've torn apart entire military squads. Yeah, I wrote a paper on them in xenobiology class. They're pretty cool, actually. Did you know they purr when they're content? I stopped running, turned, stared at this bizarre little creature who just used the word cool to describe a monster that haunted the nightmares of 17 different species. You think they're cool? Well, yeah. I mean, they're basically space tigers. A little bigger, sure, and the whole venom thing is intense, but behaviorally they're not that different from... The blood stalker burst through the ventilation grate 15 meters ahead. It was magnificent and terrible, all rippling muscle and gleaming fangs, its purple stripes almost glowing under the corridor lights. It roared, a sound that vibrated through my entire skeletal structure and made my survival instinct scream at me to flee, to hide, to do anything except stand frozen like prey. Sarah Chen stepped in front of me. "Hey, sweetie," she said, her voice suddenly soft and melodic. "Hey there, baby, you're scared, aren't you? All these weird smells and sounds. I bet that's super overwhelming." The blood stalker cocked its massive head, pupils dilating, its muscles bunched, preparing to pounce. I wanted to scream at her to run, to fight, to do something rational, but my voice had apparently decided to go on vacation without me. The creature launched itself through the air, 400 pounds of pure predatory power, claws extended, jaws wide enough to swallow Sarah's entire torso. She caught it. Her arms wrapped around its midsection as its momentum spun her around in a complete circle. She laughed. That insane human laugh that sounds like joy and chaos had a baby, and the blood stalker, the apex predator that had never been tamed, that had killed trained warriors without breaking stride, made a confused chirping sound. "There we go." "Oh, you're just a big baby, aren't you?" "Yes, you are. Look at those murder mittens. Who's got the scary claws?" "You do. Yes, you do." She was baby-talking it. She was using the same voice humans apparently use for infants, addressing a creature that could disembowel her with a casual swipe. The blood stalker's three-part jaw hung open, completely baffled. It looked at me as if to ask, "Are you seeing this?" I couldn't answer, because my brain had short-circuited. Sarah scratched behind what I assumed were its ears, and the blood stalker's eyes half closed. A rumbling sound emerged from its chest, a deep vibration that sounded disturbingly like, "See? I told you they purr." Sarah grinned up at me, still supporting a 400-pound apex predator like it was a particularly large house pet. "She's just stressed from the escape, probably got startled by something, and went into fight-or-flight mode. Right, buddy?" The blood stalker nuzzled her shoulder. My communicator exploded with chatter. "Status report? Has anyone located the creature? Security teams are in position, awaiting termination authorization." Sarah's expression hardened. "Tell them not to hurt him. He's not aggressive, just frightened." "Ambassador, that's not how bloodstalkers work. They're programmed killers. Evolution designed them to survive on a harsh world using instinct and strength, same as most predators. But behavior isn't destiny, Thrix." She looked at me with those impossibly earnest eyes. "Trust me. I know what I'm doing." Against every survival instinct, every regulation, every shred of common sense I possessed, I activated my communicator. "This is Officer Thrix-Vol. Stand down on termination authorization. The situation is under control." 3 seconds of shocked silence followed. "Repeat that, officer." "The human ambassador has pacified the creature. It's no longer a threat." More silence. "Then did you just say pacified?" "Affirmative. She's currently... How did I even describe this? She's petting it." "Petting?" "Yes, Commander. Petting. Like one would pet a domesticated companion animal?" The commander's voice dropped to a whisper, sweet, merciful void. "What are these humans?" I looked at Sarah Chen, who was now explaining to the galaxy's most feared predator that he was such a good boy. Yes, he was, and realized I had no answer. But I had a terrible feeling I was about to find out. The conference room on level 3 had been designed to accommodate every known sentient species in the galaxy. Gravity modulators, temperature zones ranging from frozen methane to molten sulfur. Right now it held 12 very confused alien diplomats, one exhausted station commander, and Sarah Chen, who sat cross-legged on her chair like furniture rules were optional suggestions. Oh, and the blood stalker. Can't forget him. He was currently sprawled under the table with his massive head resting on Sarah's foot, making that unsettling purring sound that vibrated the floor panels. Commander Veltharax, a crenarian with 12 eyes and exactly 0 patience, slammed 3 of his appendages on the table. "Explain. Now." How is a human civilian controlling a Raxian blood stalker with nothing but physical contact and nonsensical verbal sounds? Sarah shrugged, reaching down to scratch the creature's neck ridge. Summit, I wouldn't say controlling. We're just vibing, aren't we, Mango? You named it Mango? I heard myself say. He looks like a mango. Those orange undertones in his stripes. Totally mango energy. Thrix's eyes rotated in different directions, a sign of extreme stress. Ambassador Chen. That creature has a bite force of 15,000 newtons per square centimeter. Its venom causes complete neural paralysis within 30 seconds. It once killed an entire diplomatic convoy on Raxia Prime because someone looked at it wrong. And you're telling me it responds to, what did you call it? Vibes? Pretty much, yeah. Sarah pulled out a bag of something from her pocket and tossed a small brown chunk to Mango, who caught it mid-air and crunched happily. Also, he was hungry. Hangry predators are way more aggressive. Basic behavioral psychology. What did you just feed it? I demanded. Jerky. It's dried meat. I brought a bunch from Earth because station food looked kind of questionable. No offense. You're feeding an apex predator your personal food supplies. He likes teriyaki flavor. I tried giving him the spicy kind earlier, but he sneezed, and it was adorable. Ambassador Quirks, a crystalline being who communicated through light pulses, flashed a series of colors that my translator rendered as "this is insanity." The human female displays no fear response. Her neurological patterns suggest she perceives mortal danger as recreational activity. Okay. Wow, rude. Sarah frowned. I'm not crazy. I just understand animal behavior. Earth has tons of apex predators, and humans have been working with them for thousands of years. We domesticated wolves into dogs. We keep snakes as pets. Some people literally cuddle with alligators. Every single being in that room recoiled. You keep ambush predators with enough jaw strength to sever limbs as companions. Thrix's voice had gone dangerously quiet. Well, not everyone. But yeah, some folks do. There are sanctuaries where people rehabilitate big cats, work with bears, swim with sharks. It's about understanding their body language, respecting their space, and building trust. Sharks, I interrupted. Those aquatic predators from your oceans with the multiple rows of teeth. Actually, sharks are super misunderstood. Most species are pretty chill. Great whites get a bad reputation, but statistically, you're more likely to die from a falling coconut than a shark attack. The Galactic Council representative, an elderly Thexian named Vorkal, leaned forward with his 6 arthropod limbs folded. Let me clarify something, Ambassador. Are you suggesting that humans routinely interact with deadly fauna for entertainment? I mean, some people do it for science, conservation efforts, education. And yeah, some folks just think it's fun. Sarah grinned. My uncle had a tarantula named Herbert. My neighbor growing up kept pythons. I had a friend who volunteered at a wolf sanctuary every weekend. Your planet is a death world. Thrix stated it like a diagnosis. Is it though? Sarah countered. I mean, sure, we've got some dangerous animals. Venomous spiders, big cats, crocodiles, hippos. Those guys are actually super aggressive, way worse than sharks, but it's not like we're fighting for survival every day. We just learn to coexist, share space, figure out the rules. Hippos? I asked, immediately regretting it. Oh man, hippos are terrifying. They look all cute and chunky, but they're responsible for more human deaths in Africa than almost any other large animal. They're territorial, surprisingly fast, and have these massive tusks. But there are still people who work with them, study them, help protect their habitats. Vorkal made a sound like grinding stones. Your species protects the creatures that kill you. Well, yeah. Just because something's dangerous doesn't mean it should go extinct. Every species has a role in its ecosystem. Plus, most animal attacks happen because humans do something stupid, like getting too close or threatening their babies. Respect the animal, respect its space, and usually everyone's fine. Mango chose that moment to roll onto his back, exposing his belly. Sarah immediately started rubbing it, and the blood stalker's rear leg kicked reflexively in apparent pleasure. That's a vulnerability display. Ambassador Quirks pulsed. Prey shows belly during submission. Predators never expose their why is it enjoying this? Because belly rubs feel good? Sarah said, like it was obvious. Same reason cats and dogs do it. Positive physical contact releases endorphins, makes them feel safe and bonded. Cats. Thrix's voice had taken on a hysterical edge. You mentioned cats earlier. Your personal cargo. Please tell me it's not another apex predator. Biscuit? Nah. He's just a regular house cat. About this big. She held her hands maybe 30 centimeters apart. Orange tabby. Super lazy. Loves cardboard boxes and knocking things off tables. And this is considered safe on your planet? I mean, house cats have hunting instincts. They're actually really efficient predators for their size. But they've been domesticated for like 10,000 years, so they're chill with humans. Mostly, unless you try to pet their belly at the wrong time, then you get the murder mittens. Murder mittens? I repeated weakly. They're claws, when they go all swatty and bitey. Each usually playful though. Well, mostly playful. The station commander, who had been silently observing this entire exchange, finally spoke. Ambassador Chen, let me understand this correctly. Your planet is populated by deadly predators that your species has somehow convinced to live peacefully among you. You feed them.
Pet them. Give them names.
And you genuinely see no issue with this arrangement? Why would I? Animals aren't evil, Commander. They're just animals. They have needs, instincts, behaviors. If you understand those things, you can interact safely. Sometimes you even become friends. She smiled down at Mango, who was now completely relaxed, his dangerous jaws slack and his eyes half closed. Like this big guy, he didn't want to hurt anyone. He was just scared and confused in a strange environment. All he needed was someone to show him kindness. Kindness. Thrix said the word, like it was a foreign concept. You used kindness to neutralize a hazard level 9 predator. I mean, I also used knowledge of xenobiology and behavioral psychology, but yeah, basically kindness. A long silence fell over the conference room. I could see every diplomat processing this information, trying to reconcile it with their understanding of how the universe worked. Predators were dangerous. Prey was cautious. Those were the rules, the fundamental laws of nature. But humans apparently missed that memo. Vorkal finally spoke, his aged voice thoughtful. I have been part of the Galactic Council for 73 rotations. I have witnessed wars, treaties, first contacts with 17 species. I have seen empires rise and fall. But I have never, in all that time, encountered a species quite like humanity. Is that good or bad? Sarah asked. I'm not certain yet. The old Texian's mandibles clicked in what might have been amusement. Your species treats the galaxy's most dangerous creatures like companions. You laugh in the face of threats that would send entire military fleets fleeing. You show compassion where others would show weapons. It's either the most brilliant survival strategy I've ever witnessed, or the most elaborate form of species-wide suicide. Maybe it's both? Sarah suggested cheerfully. We're kind of an all-or-nothing species. When we care about something, we go hard. Animals, people, ideas, whatever. We just commit fully. Terrifying. Thrix muttered. The alarm system suddenly blared again and everyone froze. Commander, a panicked voice crackled through communications. We have another situation. Quarantine has been compromised. Multiple specimens have escaped containment, including, oh void, including the human's cat. Sarah jumped to her feet, eyes wide. Biscuits loose? All personnel code black. We have approximately 47 different species now roaming the station, ranging from Class 3 to Class 9 hazard levels. Evacuate all non-essential. Where's my cat? Sarah demanded. Ambassador, with respect, we have much larger concerns than, where is my cat? I'd never heard a human yell before. The sound made my protective membrane slam shut involuntarily. Mango's head shot up, ears alert, responding to the distress in Sarah's voice. Last tracked heading toward the Botanical Gardens on level 6, I said quickly, checking my datapad. But Ambassador, there are multiple deadly organisms between here and... She was already running. Mango was right behind her. And because I was apparently as insane as the humans, I followed. The Botanical Gardens were chaos. Plants from 70 different worlds grew in carefully controlled environments, but now those environments were compromised. Frost from the Kepler section mixed with steam from the volcanic zone. Bioluminescent vines tangled with carnivorous flora. And somewhere in that mess, dozens of escaped creatures were hunting, hiding, or panicking. Sarah moved through it like she belonged there. Mango padding beside her with surprising stealth for something his size. I struggled to keep up, my security training suddenly feeling inadequate. "Biscuit," Sarah called. "Here, kitty. Ambassador. Perhaps we should wait for backup." A Tharnaxian spine worm erupted from the underbrush. Its poisoned barbs extended. I reached for my weapon, but Sarah just sidestepped casually and kept walking. "Not now, buddy. I'm looking for my cat." The spine worm looked offended and slithered away. We found Biscuit in the temperate zone, sitting calmly in a patch of earthgrass that some botanist must have cultivated. He was indeed orange, indeed fluffy, and was currently grooming his paw like the station wasn't in complete lockdown. "There you are." Sarah scooped him up, and Biscuit immediately started purring. "I was so worried. Are you okay, baby?" The cat meowed, bopped her nose with his paw, and resumed grooming. Behind me, I heard footsteps. Multiple footsteps. The security team had arrived, weapons drawn, and they were staring at Sarah Chen holding her cat while a bloodstalker sat obediently beside her, and various deadly creatures watched from the shadows. Commander Veltharax pushed through the team, took one look at the scene, and his shoulders sagged in defeat. "Just humans," he whispered. "The galaxy creates death worlds, apex predators, and cosmic horrors. And then there are humans." Sarah smiled brightly. "So can I take Biscuit to my quarters now? I promise he won't cause any trouble." The commander looked at me.
I looked at Mango.
Biscuit yawned, showing tiny fangs. "Fine," Veltharax said. "But the Bloodstalker stays in specialized containment." "Actually," Sarah said, shifting Biscuit to one arm and scratching Mango's head with the other, "I was thinking maybe Mango could stay with me? He's pretty well behaved, and I think he's lonely. Plus I've already got the hang of his feeding schedule." Every security officer's weapon lowered slightly in unified disbelief. "You want to keep a Raxian Bloodstalker as a pet? I prefer the term companion, but sure." The commander stared at her for exactly 17 seconds. Then he started laughing, a clicking, wheezing sound that crenarians make when their sanity finally breaks. "Why not?" he managed. "Why not? Humans domesticated wolves. They cuddle venomous creatures. They keep small predators that knock objects off surfaces for entertainment. Why shouldn't they add a 400-pound murder machine to the collection?" "Technically, Mango's closer to 420, Sarah corrected. "He's a big boy." I realized in that moment that humanity's introduction to the Galactic Council wasn't going to be remembered for their technology, their diplomacy, or their achievements. It would be remembered for this, the day an unarmed human stopped a deadly predator with nothing but confidence and compassion, then asked if she could keep him. And somehow, impossibly, we said yes. Because when faced with humanity's particular brand of insanity, the only rational response was to surrender. Later, after the escaped creatures were recovered and the station returned to normal operations, I filed my incident report under Human Threat Assessment. I wrote, "Extreme, not because they're dangerous, but because they make the rest of us question everything we thought we knew about survival." Sarah Chen walked past my office right then, Biscuit on her shoulder and Mango trotting beside her like an oversized dog. She waved cheerfully. I waved back. "Welcome to the galaxy, humanity. We're absolutely terrified of you.